Lenny?
No.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the very first thing to get committed to an event is to pick your date. First thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the first event I'd love for you guys to do is obviously a low cost, something that's going to be, you're going to charge, not free. So Andrew's meetups are the first meetup, and this
Last one, yeah.
This
one will be paid. Yeah.
Okay, so she's run 2 free meetup events, and she is going to be getting paid for this next one. But this is going to be actually a workshop or an event where you're going to add value, you're going to educate people on something, and then you're going to have a call to action to have a further conversation that's going to lead into some maybe your coaching program or whatever it is, that one-on-one kind of stuff that we were talking about. Or perhaps it's going to lead into something that you might host in 4 to 6 months' time that might be like a higher end program for a group. Okay? So you need to, we don't need to decide that immediately. We just need to get this event up there and starting to be promoted. Okay? I sometimes don't even think of unless it's my half day author, I know what I'm selling. But say this Brand Accelerator Masterclass that's happening in March, are you all going to be at that one this year? Because you're allowed to come to it.
Yeah. But you've got the March one. I wasn't sure if I'd come to the March one or whether come to the next
July.
one.
Okay, you're unsure.
Yeah.
Will you
I'm
come?
undecided at the moment.
Undecided.
Yeah.
Okay, when you decide the date, because there is, so you know the dates? The dates are 22nd and 23rd of March. Following one's 19th, 20th of July, and 26th, 27th October. You can come to one or all of them. Every training is different. Just because the PowerPoint might slightly change, or it hasn't, that doesn't mean there won't be new learnings within the room, and awesome networking. So we got 50 there last year. The list is already up. I haven't even promoted it, and it's at 35 because some people wanted to return, and then we've had new purchases and people wanting to join us. So what we generally do is like, okay, well that's really a big, sort of a more generic, say, brand accelerator. So we can sell actually a few things. So not just authoring, which is our highest end program, but then there's going to be 50 people in the room who perhaps are not ready to be an author immediately. Can't we do maybe another VIP day here? That's going to be a different angle to marketing. It might just be something else. Because why would you want to miss out on some of the opportunities that may be in the room that actually want to spend a bit more time with you, but they can't really either make it feasible or whatever for themselves to write a book then and there. So you don't want to miss out. Or maybe we can sell some more inner circle memberships, an annual inner circle membership. And you know what happens? For those people who buy that membership, hey, they get to hang out with us, they come on these calls, and that's just those touch points they need to ready themselves to do an author program. Yeah? So at every point, doesn't matter that you're selling a low cost. The low cost is a good sign. It's a good sign they want to hang out with you more. It's a good sign that you're building more trust and rapport. That means that this high end in 4 to 6 months' time is going to slowly get some people there. So perhaps I think let's all actually think a bit later on as to what maybe a 2-day or a 3-day program you may want to run, and set a date in 6 months' time. And who cares how many turn up, right? If you charge 3,000 and 3 people turn up, that's 10 grand. That's 10% of your whole, 10K, and then of your 100K. And if you're happy with it, and another 4 or 5, maybe by the end of the year, you run it second time, twice in the year, you run it for 5 people times 3, that's another 15K. Yes, they take a lot of work. You're doing. So when I'm running like all of this around the country and not doing all this low cost events, all of this, I sometimes can feel like, oh my God, it's such hard work, and then you never see, you don't see immediate income. But then you hit the retreat and everyone pays the lump sums that we can collect, and then our regular monthly retainers, and that builds up over time because one's finished and another one started, and then all of a sudden you have these lump sums every month that come in regularly, and you never have a downslope in cash flow because over the Christmas period. So please also be a fan of offering a payment plan option. Be a good payer of your, pay people on time. Be good with your invoices, if you like, if you want to also people to be good with you. I have only about, less than a hand, I would count the people that I've had troubles with. That's not a lot over the 6 years. Okay? There is going to be some bad debt in business. It's to be expected. And no matter how much you know, try to work with it in the most positive way, at some stage, we also have to let it go. Okay? But do set very firm agreements, contracts, keep in touch, communicate. If there's anything, tell your clients, if there's any issue, always come back to me. I'd rather know than you kind of hiding away in the background and not saying anything. Okay? So I would suggest that we even plan something that maybe is a little bit more high-end. It could be a 1997, $2,000 program, or up to 3. Who knows? You just don't know what travels you're going to go on in the next 5 months to discover those people that perhaps want to spend that time with you. Okay? So pick your date. Let's pick a date for the first event. When is it going to happen? So anywhere between the next 4 to 6 weeks. A lead-up time is always 4 to 6 weeks for a live event. So where's my planner? If I can look. Pick the date, Robin. Sit.
Is there a particular day of the week that works best?
Yeah. I prefer events to be done Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Thursday. But when I'm going to state, I really choose the day that suits with the travel schedule.
Yeah.
Friday I'm doing Sydney, I'm doing it on Friday, for example. There's another Friday one I'm doing on the Gold Coast. I'm doing a Monday in Perth, I'm doing a Tuesday in Margaret River. So I'm not really being too picky on Tuesday when I go into state because of travel arrangements. But if you can pick it, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Alright?
So are you saying 4 to 6 weeks from now?
Lead up.
or-
Yes. Okay.
Go to March, maybe.
So where are we? We're end of
Last week of
Jan.
January.
Our next mastermind's on the 25th of Feb. Alright, so we at the most, the furthest out you would put this event is the 17th. Well, not the 17th. Anytime before the 3rd mastermind meeting. Because before the 3rd mastermind meeting, when you come back in, we want to go, what happened? Who came? What did you do? What did you sell? What didn't you sell? All of that sort of
I'm
stuff.
going to do March 9.
You're going to do March 9?
I was
Yep.
thinking March the 10th.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, as Francesca calls it, now we're going to have our own little mafia. Okay. And when we post the event up on Facebook or Meetup, if you guys are going to, I know you do Meetup, but it's up to you guys. I think it's just another avenue to advertise your events. You just have to be mindful when you post on Meetup that it doesn't feel salesy, because
Yeah.
Meetup is more
They got rules around that, yeah.
rules around business events. So it's up to you. I don't use Meetup a lot, but yeah. So you just have to make sure you position the event so it doesn't seem, hey, you're building a business and all this sort of stuff. So have you chosen? So Andrea chose the
March 9.
9th, 10th,
8.
8th. Okay. Yeah.
Good week.
Yeah.
And Anita?
Yeah, the 8th.
8th. Beautiful. So as the mafia, when we post an event on Facebook, by the way, friend each other after this, and anyway, I'll set up that group so you'll
Yeah.
find each other. We are going to go click going as soon as any of you set up an event. That applies to anyone who's live streaming
What
as
if
well.
it's the same day?
Doesn't matter. Other people don't know that you're going.
To look like...
No, you're not
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
You're not physically
Yeah.
going to go.
Yeah,
Just take
yeah.
it.
Ah, okay, yep.
You're just going to click going so that it puts
Creates
into
it
effect
for
the
it,
sheep
yeah.
effect.
Yeah.
So people think, oh, 6 or 7 people already going. What's happening here?
Yeah.
Right? So that other people who you invite to that Facebook event, or it's a live event, I'm gonna go, okay, a few people have clicked going, some like 0 or 1, you know what I mean? So we're gonna, it works.
Yeah.
It works to some effect, yeah? Secondly, if you ever wanted to support each other as you get to know each other more, attend each other's event and crew for one another. Yeah? If I can and I'm free, I'd be happy also to come along. I'm not promising, but if I am free, I'll go, and it's great networking for me anyway when I go to an event. Yeah. So do that for each other. Also, what it does, it gets another bum on seat and makes it look, more fuller. Like we always, Stuart and I always go count bodies in the room, and that's I didn't smear you. Like when we're thinking about Mastermind, yeah, we've got 5 plus us 7. You know, what are you talking about? It always like look at it in the positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there a friend? Hey, I need another, sort of body in the room. That's what you do in the early days. That workshop I ran, a lot of you may have heard me talk about it, the chiropractor, that one person turned up, and my mum happened to come with me. For some reason, it must have been like as if she was meant to be there, but she's never ever come to another event. The chiro, her assistant were there, and then I had an audience of 4, so that was okay. It wasn't 1, right? So so think about little clever things. Things like that. If you feel that someone would get a lot of value and they're a close family or friend or whatever, or someone you network with you really like, give them a free ticket because you know that they're going to come for 100%. Like free is not good because people don't commit and they don't come. I mean, even at my 49 event last night, we had 1 no-show, and a couple of people cancelled the day before. I usually always offer to transfer their ticket to the following date because I'd rather have them in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But still, even if they pay, you will have a tiny attrition rate. Yeah, where people. So now we've decided this room fits comfortably 10. We can squeeze in 14 because we've done it before by accident. And so we've decided to sell 12 tickets to the morning and evening one, knowing that only 10 will generally turn up. And that's exactly what happened. We had 10 in the morning, or 11 I think it was, no, it was 10. It was 10 at night.
Yeah.
So we ended up with our perfect 10 that we wanted because we actually accidentally oversold, but now on purpose we're going to oversell to get less. Now, so picture that. Book your venue, right? So there's a variety of paid and free venues out there, okay? Actually, Andrew's going on a bit of a road trip with Francesca next week.
I've got a couple already that I've used, and one I've used, and I've got 2 more lined up that are free.
Yep, okay. Tell us a little bit about, because I've only used 1 free venue in Sydney, and that's a function room at the back of a pub. So can you tell me a little bit about what sort of venues are they when they're free?
Well, I suppose they are mostly food venues, I suppose, and they expect that when you go, they'll offer you the space for free, but that you'll order food or drinks, so they are getting some money out of you. The last one I had at a cafe, which I'd been to restaurant-wise, I knew they had a space they could block off. Asked them all those questions, but as it turned out, it was a stinking hot night on that Melbourne, it was about 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And we were the only ones in the whole place. So, and I said beforehand, there's meals, please order them, this is our way of giving back to be using the space. So I explained it to everyone.
Yeah, sure.
But the next one I've got is just, once again, it's a cafe.
Yep.
They've got a free function room out the back.
Yep.
It's all set up. You can just order
So
their own drinks.
These are really good for perhaps the initial workshops where you may attract 10 people.
Yeah.
Especially, you just got to figure out, is it going to be quiet enough, the sound, and what sort of facilities, like can you run a PowerPoint, even if you can't run one.
That's the only problem. They're not set up with whiteboards
Okay,
and
but
facilities.
do they have a white
space.
wall you can project on?
Yeah.
Because I have a projector that I often take myself. Like at the bank workshop, we were in a church space, Planet Shakers on City Road. Right? And they don't have any facilities like that. I took everything, but I projected on their wall, and I still had my thing. Projectors secondhand on eBay are not expensive to buy. It's really good to have one.
Okay.
If you want to borrow mine and I'm not using it for a certain time, please ask me. I know you're close by, but the other guys I'm not sure. How far away are you from me? Like a drive?
Hour's drive.
Hour drive?
on a good day?
Yeah, about 45 minutes, Port Melbourne.
45.
Okay, so you're pretty, you 2 hour round trip, you could pick up something.
Yeah.
But the offer is there, do ask, I like whiteboard and projector, Projector, I don't need to rely on them as much, but they just give me a little bit of structure of where I'm at and all that stuff. And when you're early and you're new, you do want to have, your little crutch.
Yeah.
As, people are visual, they like to look at stuff. I didn't have to do this, you know what I mean? But I just know that, it keeps us a bit more structured. Yeah? So, venue-wise, I have a rule. I don't like paying more than $200 for a venue.
Yeah.
So everywhere I've looked, I looked at the Mantra over in the Gold Coast, they quoted me $300 with the coffee. $400 with coffee, and then project $100. And I said, so Francesca said I could, it would be $200 for the thing. And I said, is that the smallest room you have? I go, no, we've got the boardroom, which also fits 25, it's 150, plus we'll reduce the projector for $50 because they didn't want to carry mine. I said, all right, 200, that's my budget. Coffee is always going to be a bit more, so I don't estimate that in the room hire. But yeah, with projector, whiteboard in the room, 200, then obviously you can expect that. Don't pay any more than $5. Basic coffee and tea is fine for a half day, and don't pay any more than $5 a head. That's just way too much.
NAB do 3 rooms, but I don't know how big they are. The NAB banks.
Well, they've got the business centre in.
They do.
Well,
Yeah.
Is it what street is it? Is it
I don't know. I knew someone who worked there. She's
Burke
now moved
Street?
to ANZ.
Yeah, so Burke Street
Yeah.
over the Docklands, right?
Right.
It's amazing, but you have to be a NAB customer to get the room.
Oh, okay.
So it's the hub centre, because I went to a meet up there once. It was amazing, and so I inquired how they got them. She goes, you have to be a NAB customer, and you just book the space. You don't pay anything, you just book it. But it's pretty noisy. You're not
Right.
really in your own
Yeah.
room.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like all little separate.
Once you find
sections.
your spots, build the rapport, build the relationship. I just go to the same spots every time now around the country. I just make a text. My Sydney venue is the best. I text, Dean, I'm coming this day. Lock me in. All right, Nat. See you there. 3 days before. This is how many seats you got to set up. This is the pub in Sydney. It's awesome, and they have amazing food afterwards. It's really a bit alternative. Not your standard beigey, room. Queensland also in Brisbane, I had one that I used twice. They weren't free this time, so they sent me to a different quest. I also go to the quest in Brizzy. First time I've hired the Gold Coast. If I'm happy with it, that will become it. It's not about, how much time you can waste trying to contact venues and get prices? Once you've got them in locked in. I'm going back to Perth, 4th time, Subiaco, the Vic Hotel, upstairs, $200. Room can fit anywhere from comfortably to look good 20 to 50. You can cram it out to 50, and they've got projector and everything. So once you find them, I requested Doncaster. I used masterclasses booked in for March and July. The one after they didn't have the date. May have to go somewhere else. But yeah, just think about what your budget is, and then work out how many tickets will cover the cost of the room. I never look at intro events as money-making exercises. Certainly it's nice to, having sold, for example, having sold the 20 tickets for the events yesterday was, $50? $1,000, yeah? No cost to hire this, right? Some food. Ads cost $600. So really, I was $200 in profit, right? Because I spent $600 on Facebook advertising to fill the room, $200 on the food, and $200 in my pocket. So that's great. These actually end up making profit, which is actually really, really cool, because then why wouldn't you do it? How many times would you do it? Every time you get $200 extra and potentially a few authors into the program. So interstate, the reason you charge it will pay for your flights. I used to think that it was so expensive to go and do a workshop interstate. And I go, these people travel, they must be making so much money and all that. But when you actually calculate that you're going to collect some, say $50 a ticket or whatever, the only really biggest issue is to how am I going to fill the room if I don't have a network. And with the blessing that we've got now, a really good Facebook strategy now, our rooms are filling quite easily. I'm happy to go to America, but if and do all that. But it's actually not that expensive. So don't don't discount it, right? However, this year is about Melbourne, okay? If you do want, I would suggest the second half of the year we plan maybe a first interstate one, just for an experience to start it. When I started like a December 2 or 3 years ago. I went for the first time in Sydney and Brisbane, and I had 2 small rooms of under 10 people. Like I managed to get 6 or 7 in Sydney and about 8 in Brisbane, and that was okay. I just cracked that seal and start, you know. So that would be, but I would focus these first 6 months on your core city where you have a network, where you're going to be going out and networking and doing the strategies, because then that's just replicable. And once we get a little bit more cash, then if we can afford to pay someone to do some ads to get more people in rooms in other states, then off you go. Because we want to money makes money, right?
Yeah.
First we got to, you know, generate it. So book your venues. I'd like for you guys by the end of tomorrow to have your venue booked, right? Because you cannot put it out there in the wild world, which you will be doing over the weekend, about this event coming up on the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th of March, unless you know venue, time, you know, just the logistics of it. And then we can, once we have those, we certainly will write our sexy copy today for what it's going to be, and then we're going to promote.
Okay.
Now I want to skip the sexy copy just for a minute. And by the way, for Robin, if she's listening, I sent an email yesterday, Robin, I was leading up to have a go at the sexy copy stuff here, this one. So if you want to write it up, please send it to me and Stu to look at it for your event. Okay. So let's just, we're going to go into more depth of promotion, but I want to give you, let's say 10. You know how I have this thing, 10 fills a room?
Yep.
You know my 10 fills a room. All right. This is your tasks.
It is hot in here now.
Let's get now we're going to have the benefit of having not had a fan. Now it's going to feel like all, maybe, we open them both? Okay. Good. Coffee. I knew I should have had coffee first, so I don't have to drink enough. But this is my treat, 1 coffee a day. Alright. So we're going to post the event on Facebook event. And our mafia will click going. Yeah?
Yep.
Pick a nice cover photo for the event. I will introduce you all to Nick. Who knows Nick? Have you done something with
Yeah,
him?
he did my
He's alright?
banner.
Yeah. You like him? Okay. So Nick is our graphic designer who's Macedonian, lives in Macedonia. I met him physically in July last year. He's no one person that I've introduced him to has ever not been happy with his work. It just, you worked too, didn't you? Oh yeah. Yeah. He designed the internals of the planner. He designed my banners. All of his jobs are anywhere from $5 to $20, $30 at the most. Banners are 20. Little Facebook cover, like a cover photo is $5. So Nick, go on this, here's all the bits and send it. He's a lot busier than he used to be in the beginning, so do give him, plan your graphic design work, give yourself double the amount of time that you need. That's my always rule of thumb. If I want some graphic design, I need to double the time in which time I want to get it. Okay? So nice cover photos that grabs people when you're also promoting it. On your private profile, on your personal profile, not on your business page, not in a group, on your personal profile, I'm running this event. Okay? Because that's where it has the biggest reach and you can invite all your contacts. Yeah? Alright. Then we'll click going, and your strategy is going to be this. So now we are coming, how many? Let's say we chose about 6 weeks out, didn't we? Twice a week you're going to post a tip, a little insight, share something that people are curious about, because every time you post in that event, it reminds people that you're actually running this event. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't click going on that. Oh, that's coming up, I want to go to that. But it's still 6 weeks out, so you might have maybe you might have one or two people book straight away, and you might do a daily special on the back. They're like, this week, I've got buy one, get one free ticket. So think about little tricks with ticket sales. So Australia Day came the other day, and did you see my little Australia map and what cities I was going to go and do my intro half day? Did anyone see that?
Yeah.
I might have seen it.
Might have seen it?
Yeah.
I think so.
So I ran an Australia Day sale because I'm for the first time visiting Margaret River and Canberra, plus all these other cities, posted all my dates and said, today only you get a $30 ticket, they're normally $49. So only a reduction a little bit. Lock in your ticket just for Australia Day, and you get a copy of my book when you come to my half day. These are the dates, these are the cities, these are the locations. See, I had my dates, locations, and everything, so people are already planning in their head, put it in the diary, lock it out. I sold 5 tickets. 2 in Canberra, 2 in Gold Coast, 1 in Perth, 1 in Melbourne. So that was just a random day that I thought, how can I utilise this?
Yeah.
You know, and they're still committed, they're going to pay, they're going to be there, right? So
Just a tiny question. Do people ever get annoyed that they've paid full price and then there's a special?
Yeah, I've wondered
not
that.
often. See, if this is a one-day special because it's Australia Day,
Yeah.
and I actually had a lady book a ticket through my Facebook page, which was to the normal page, $49. I haven't had an
Curious.
issue. My $30 ticket is like always a referral ticket I offer to my authors. So if Anita was to refer someone to me, she always has the option of giving them a $30 ticket. She's my author, she's my affiliate. And what happens, I'll reveal this to you guys because so you know, there's no secrets anyway. All my authors are affiliates, so anyone that they refer in future, if that person commits to the weekend, upon completion of their retreat, they get $500 in their bank account.
Wow.
Yeah. So this coming February retreat, I had someone who was a referral on the Monday, put $500 into their account. Because I've done all my marketing for me. I haven't spent thousands of dollars on Facebook. I mean, I'd rather give it to you than to Facebook, right? So last year we calculated we had 15 people into our author retreats as referrals from our previous authors. It's great. I mean, certainly think about how do I incentivize my current clients to, to bring more clients to me, and $500 is nothing to. We've paid it out easily 20 times over since we started, easily. And it's money that I'm stoked to just pay out because it's like, thank you. Sometimes I've paid out $1,000 because I've had 2 authors from the one author, Melanie. Melanie's she referred 6 or 7 people to us. The some will refer a lot. So I'd say 20% of your community or clients will be really engaged with you, right? Anita, you're one of those 20%. 80% will love you, but they'll still move on, and you know what I mean? And that's okay. That's fine. But the core though, 20% is really, really valuable. You nurture and yeah. Okay. Let's actually, before we keep going on this, let's think about some specials. Ticket specials.
Yeah.
So what we did, Stuart, is we're just moving to promote
Yep.
because we're going to do that upstairs later. But ticket specials, what you can do. So if it's a special day, use the special day as excuse. Yeah, special day excuse. Don't do free, right?
Yeah, right.
You can do buy one get one free because generally it's like they'll bring a friend so they'll come for sure,
So
right?
I know with BNI, when some of the guys there have done workshops that they've allowed, they said, well, you're BNI, so you get BNI discount, you can get it for free.
Right.
So I was debating with that. But I know that one of the guys, I mentioned to you, I emailed him because he was interested in workshops.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, what do you think, because he was going to refer them to some of my workshops
Yeah.
for some of his clients. So I said, well, what subjects do you think would suit them? You know your clients better than
Right.
I do. So I gave him 3 choices, and then
Yes.
I'm open to others. And he came back and said, well, try them all 3 out. They all sound good.
There you
So,
go. If
'cause-
someone else is going to help you collaborate and get their clients in, I mean, really the goal thing is to tap into that key referral person. Like Francesca and I are really key for each other. We have the same target market. We don't feel in competition with each other. She's promoting hell out of me up there. I promote her when she comes down here. We feel a lot of people, plus our own efforts, never just rely on a collaborative partner. Never just rely on Facebook ads, guys. Facebook ads is like my cream, kind of stuff that I really pay for this stuff for these guys to be in my room. But I still put out made the effort to make that map, to put it out there in my communities and my Facebook groups to get those extra bums and seats. Yeah? Okay, so buy one get one is good, but always time limit these. Special ticket sales, so this is ticket sales. Always have a limitation, and I would say of amount and time. Right? Because for Australia, I said 5 tickets per city, right? Of $30. I said that. So buy one, get one free. Bonus. Buy the ticket today, you get this bonus. Buy ticket, get bonus. Please, now this is the time to start masterminding, throw out some ideas. This is some things I've done.
Yeah.
10 days out, when I send my email 10 days out to go, you guys got one 10 days out and you would have got the also one. I didn't offer for the home-based one because it was truly sold out. But my ones that are open to how many people, of course they oftentimes have extra room that I can fit 5-10 people. I put this sentence in, I say, finally, I give them all the logistics. I go, finally, I always keep 3 seats in every one of my rooms free for a partner or a friend that you might want to bring along, because when Stuart and I go to events, he picks up different insights, I pick up different insights, we learn a lot more and we debrief afterward. So if any of you do want to bring that a person, email me right back there, the email, mobile and name, and I will add them on my list and let you know that you've gotten one of those 3 spots. I do that with 10 days to go because it's getting close now, they're committed, they're coming, and there's still enough time for someone else's calendar to be replanned to be there. You would not believe how many authors I've signed up from that friend. The friend that came, that was that buddy, that became an author. Off the top of my head, I could probably remember 4.
Yeah.
So, bring a buddy. So 3 tickets, 10 days to go. 3 tickets for a buddy. And use an excuse. When I go with a buddy, so instead of me using Stuart, when I go with a buddy to a seminar or a workshop, I learn so much more. So they have to send you back their email, name, mobile. Because when I do my lists, they're the 3 key details I keep building my lists with. Make sense? Now, next month, we're going to do a little bit more on the logistics of what do I do 10 days, 3 days, because that's when will be perfect timing for these events, won't we? So we're kind of doing the things as they're coming up for this first one, and every other future one is a repetition of what you've repeated for the first one, and you keep refining that. But logistics and what you send out prior to an event and post an event and the follow-up will happen at month 2, and at month 3 it's going to really be reviewing the sales, the presentation and all of those kind of things. We'll do a bit more on presentations, creation and all that. Right now for us, for these 30 days is promote, and write sexy copy. That's all we need to do because nothing really else is happening, and working on our one-on-one packages, working on what assets do we have, like e-disc package, all of that. So we're just setting all of that up. Then it's like, let's get into more logistics, then it's execution and review of that execution. And then rinse and repeat until we're starting to get some consistent result, right? In the whole time though, when you're networking, make friends with the speaker, make friends with the organizer, and you are looking for speaking gigs. This month, second bit of homework, where's my sheet?
I got it.
You are going to create a speaker bio as well. Okay, Andrea was here at a workshop last week. She knows about it. I will send you an example. I want you to have a go at yourself. And then, because these are all, again, that's an asset. Having a speaker bio is an asset because it'll get you a speaking gig. Having a package is an asset because it'll sell you a one-on-one package. Having the sexy copy for an event if it goes well, you repeat it. That's an asset, right? Just because you don't sell it as a book would, this is all infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Now I'm getting really cool. With my coffee, I'm happening. It's all happening now. I'm going 10 times the speed. Hang on, will it please up? All right. Let's think of another 3 ticket ideas. What else have I done?
Suppose how you word it, so buy one get one free, so 2 for the price of 1. Is the wording any different?
No.
Doesn't
No.
make any difference?
No. Another way you can do it, create 2 tickets, create a, people want to feel exclusive.
VIP?
I don't call it VIP, call it exclusive access ticket. Okay, it sounds very good for somebody, so you might do the promotion. So for the next 2 days, 24 hours, you can get an exclusive access ticket for the price of a general admission.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. So if maybe the exclusive access ticket, maybe not your time, if you've got the time, you could give away time. If not, what made the
I'm
VIP?
gonna run it. I have something somewhere I want to grab, so I'll be
What
back.
made the exclusive access, or what was it that you can add that's made that higher price, $20, $30 more?
Yeah.
Don't make it too much more.
No.
Don't make it like if the event's $37, don't make it $130.
No.
Normally do it about $30 difference in the 2. So one, you are going to get those people that want to spend the higher price. So think about it again. Another thing to think about is what can you add
Yeah.
into it. So might it be that you get to have an hour, spend an hour with you after the event. You could be
Yeah.
lunch with you afterwards. Something that people want to have. So if you're getting people that have known you a little bit, of course, what do they want? They want closer touch, closer access to you. So they want to spend more time with you. If they don't know you, give them a resource.
Yeah.
So think about how you're marketing. So if they don't think of this as the goal, if they don't know you, it's a resource. If they know you, it's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, think of it like that.
I remember I had stuff. This was Robert Curry and I did a 2-day marketing masterclass. The notebook. More than happy to send you this as a resource for you guys. I've got it in PDF and all that. It's got. Again, I don't want to give you all of it because I don't want to overwhelm you. That's why. But here, just I knew I had written this page when I brainstormed up ticket specials. Early bird discount, right? For those that buy well ahead of event date. So this is actually really important for us in the next 2 weeks. Do 2 weeks of early bird, all right? And then on that event page, keep reminding them it's expiring,
Yep.
right? First 5 tickets for $5, right? I like that one from Francesca for the meetup kind of stuff that she does. Look, you might do early bird or you might do first 5 tickets at half price. Whatever it is that you're going to price it at. Make sense? Bonus resource for buying a ticket, we had that. Upgrade to VIP for special treatment, which Stuart actually said exclusive access. Bring a friend for free with your paid ticket closer to the event. Win a ticket by sending through an answer to a question. Yeah? Those that really want to hang out with you, they win a ticket. And then they've done something for it, right?
I was just saying to them while you're away, so if they know you, it's good to, as a bonus, add make it time with you. If they don't know you, a resource is something good to add as that what they get.
Because that
for
time
VIP.
is the opportunity to convert from curious to committed.
Yeah.
Yep. First time attendees come for free. This is relevant maybe to your meetup.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a few more people into your, build up that network. By the way, everyone, it's really good once you feel you've established some kind of a network to start your own group. To be the leader of a group. Number 1, you get to practice speaking a lot more. And number 2, you're positioning yourself. And it's just one of your strategies. Own network group to sell more tickets into your intro event. Yeah? So Andrew can quite easily at her next meetup announce the 8th or 9th of March event and sell the first 5 tickets at whatever half price and get those first bums and seats in the room.
Can I just ask, when you said first time, was it come free? What was it about the...
It's more like in the sense of a networking event. Like if her group is more like a meetup group, a network group. It's not the workshop. as such. And so if she wants to build more people as regulars, if they experience it once and they've come along for free.
I'm just kicking myself now because I was invited to lead a meet-up domestic violence group and I said no because I thought I've got to focus on all these other things.
That's okay. It wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
But also, just for a little bit more commitment, instead of free, first
Yeah,
time, the
I
$5.
totally understand
The
that.
$5 one.
Yeah.
That worked really well for UBS. When I learned it from Francesca straight away, we had low numbers for Jane's event last year, which ended up having 18. I had one on the Monday. I had a few people buy the regulars buy the ticket, and then I put out this $5 first timers.
Yeah.
And actually got 5 or 6 to 5, and it turned up because whenever I did the free first time, I would have 1 in 5 turn up. Like this, I had 4 out of 5 turn up.
Yep.
Right, and we had 18 after having 1 on the Monday. So these networking events still take effort just as much as a workshop would, although they're a little bit easier to fill because people feel that they're coming to build their business, you know, hang out with each other, you know, it's not as, hey, we're learning this, and of course there's going to be some kind of an offer at the end. Make sense? And you'll see what else I've got here for you. Encourage, this is a good one. See, I've got everything here. Encourage current and past clients to promote your event and offer their people a referral discount, which is what I do with my authors.
Yeah.
Also reward with a kickback incentive towards your higher end programs for sign-ups. Never pay out your kickback incentive until really that fat lady has sung, right? Because what happens if someone pulls out, it's happened to me twice, right? Used to be, our program, author program, was at a certain price point and we used to only get a $500 deposit. This was 2 years ago. And 2 of my authors referred someone, and these 2 people, one of them was my bad debt person that completely pulled out, and somehow she reversed her deposit from our credit card that we had taken and took away 6 of my hours. Like, this person just gave me the biggest runaround. I paid out that $500 to my referrer, and so there's $1,000 gone. And of course I was never going to ask for it back.
She tried to connect with me on LinkedIn the other day too,
Oh,
can you believe?
really? Oh my god. Anyway, and a second person did the same thing. Like, and this was around that same period because I learned after that. So I paid out $1,000 worth of incentives to my 2 authors that I was grateful they referred. 2 people pulled out, one really badly. Like, she was a shocker. She was really a shocker. And the other one she was a nice lady. She just got shit scared, yeah. And I was left, sort of going, I'm not going to ask. I just let the authors know this didn't eventuate, but there was no way I was going to ask for money back. So now the rule is, on the Monday, after they've completed their retreat, that means I've delivered the service and they've more than paid for the, expenses, all that sort of stuff, I'm going to release the $500. So that's just a rule.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So were you saying offer a kickback incentive to referrals
So-
and encourage past and current clients?
Okay, so I keep all my lists, especially with all the other cities I go to. Melbourne, still keep all the Melbourne lists as well, but more so when I go to Sydney or Brisbane, I kind of have 40 or 50 other people I can tap into now from other events I've hosted there over the last couple of years, and I keep those lists. So to show you guys how I used to do it last year, now I just separate them into separate files. But if we're going to my Dropbox under events, I used to keep this file. Hang on, no. Events and links. Alright, so also in this file I kept all my links of where people can register. So see this top one, author referral $30 ticket. If you ever asked me, I need that link, I've got someone to come to your workshop, I'd go, here's the link, boom. Alright, so here was one, this was Melbourne, January attendees, 1st of Feb attendees. Well, it just says attendees and the date that was Melbourne. 28th of Feb, Sydney, right? UBS March, 21st of March, Adelaide, Brisbane. So then I'll go back to this one document and I'll just cut and paste into the BCC field of an email. Hey guys, I'm coming back to Brisbane. It was so great to meet you last time. I'd like to invite you to come along again the there's some new content now this year. It's true. There's new content into this particular workshop. If you want to be, every time you hear different things. So more bums on seats for those that really enjoyed it last time. Perhaps they still haven't written their book, right? You know, come along again. If you know anyone, please, I could offer them a $30 as well. Look, the tickets are normally $49 because you've been to my workshop before. Here's a $30 ticket because all I want is I want commitment for someone to be in the room. $30 covers the copy of the book, you know, a little bit of the costs. That's it. All I want is just that they're going to be there, to know that the room's going to have the people. And that's what I do. And I kept that. What you can do is you can actually create different sheets along the bottom, so they're keeping so you can have just one file, and you can see all my links to all my events. So as soon as someone would say, oh, I'll say to them, look, I'm coming to your city, like, oh, you know, you send me more info straight away. Nice. Yeah. You gotta act while the iron's hot. Yeah. You have to. Here's the link for more info. Hey, I'll give you a discount ticket. At this page, you'll find it for $49. Here's a discount ticket. You can have a $30. So on the spot, while you're speaking with people, you're doing it. I'm not a big fan of discounting, especially in the programs or coaching. But tickets into low-cost events, I think it's okay. Is that cool? Yep. You learning cool stuff? Alright. Keep lists of people that have said they would love to come next time and keep following up. Oh my God, this happens all the time. And they think I won't. Sometimes I had a woman who inquired in January last year and I was going to Perth in September. Don't worry, you went on my Perth list, right? I actually have for this year in our house events, I've had a few people who are interested to come to the house event, and I have now one file that's called house events. House events, and they're here. I'll keep them here. This person, like they're so totally random. I have got another list here, 2016 to invite, right? Look, these are all Brisbane ones that last time either missed it or couldn't make it. See, that paid. Four of them have already paid, right? But it didn't come. So what do you think I'm going to do now that my venue's locked in? I'll email them and say, are you coming to this one, right? And there's a Sydney. Okay, and she was interested for mid-2016 because she couldn't come to the February one next week. So I keep all my little backups. So do you get a sense that this requires a bit of detail and managing detail? But that you got to hustle. You got to get your hands dirty and actually it's an art form, as we say, right? But spreadsheets will become your friend. All right. And I've never done this before. I think it may work in some instances. SMS ticket special that lasts for 24 hours. There's a lot of marketing being done through SMSs. Look, a couple of it has worked on me. If it's been relevant, don't flood people. I don't like it when I get it weekly from someone. Yeah. But if it's just this, let's say you send one out once. If you're going to run 6 events this year or more, like you might send one SMS, you know, to a certain group, another, you know, you might test and measure different words and things like that. But similar thing, that's how I use LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn, we'll send an inbox to say just the Sydney people, but then we will not send another inbox till maybe I'm going next time in Sydney, which is in 6 months' time. So really they're only getting 2 inbox messages from me. Yeah? Don't flood SMSs or LinkedIn. Yeah. Just time them. I haven't done it for a while. Okay, it's okay to send one. Yep. So I think that's some bonus tips. Phone up ticket holders to upsell to VIP and confirm attendance. This is actually if you are doing a free event. You must be on the phone.
So feedback on that didn't work when I did it. No one out of, I reckon, 300 people that I rang upgraded to a VIP ticket from a free event.
When Rob and I did a hybrid free and VIP, this is where I'm not from the school of doing free events. I trialed it last year. We spent 17 grand in everything that we did in those 6-ish months to get, and we ended up having 6 people in the master class, which was run here. but overall that strategy was not hugely profitable. You
Not
know,
with the
we,
time
we
that
made
you
about
put in.
40 grand, but split that amongst 2 people, minus 17. Not in the amounts we're operating nowadays, both Rob and I. Makes sense? Learning, absolutely, because I can just tell you that I did the mistakes, I spent all that money, right? Don't do it, right? And you know when you do it? When you're making 2-3 million in revenue. You do the free events because you can fork out,
Yeah.
you've got so much confidence, you know your numbers, you know your conversion rate, you know if you spend $100,000 on Facebook advertising, it's going to make you $500,000, $1 million. Like it's just like, it's a no-brainer and you're working the numbers. Now we're like, we need to get people because, hey, I want to come, I'm going to invest in myself, I'm going to be there. And at this stage, we're not doing free. Okay? Cool. Let's go to the other 10 other things you're going to do. So, happy to send you just a copy of that one page
Yeah.
in that workbook now that we've referred to it, so you can refer back. Okay, so what I might start doing is whatever, can you put that down? A page on ticket specials. I might upload these files in our, hang on, Tick. I'm just trying to think what's the best way.
In our private Facebook group.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking for future. See, I'm thinking long
Yeah,
term.
Yeah.
And do I start a Dropbox amongst us? Let me ponder on that. It's either going to be an uploaded file in our Facebook secret group, or I'm going to share a Dropbox folder with you guys where I'll say I've popped in these bits because I don't want to keep emailing attachments. It's just not. It's just too much admin.
Yeah.
It's like pop it in. Da, da, da. So what I'll do is like I'll cut it, put it in a single Word document so you can use and type other ideas so they're editable.
Yeah.
But I will make that Dropbox only viewable so you can just edit on your computer. So you
Okay.
remove the file, have a separate Dropbox for you and edit there. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I think Dropbox always works best.
You can download from Dropbox. So you download from
You
Dropbox.
download,
Yeah.
just copy everything in that Dropbox that we're putting in onto your own separate folder and you can edit it. Because you won't be able to edit it inside because it'll change it for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we'll do, guys. And it'll build the assets, right? I'm building assets
Yeah.
right as we
Yeah.
speak. Alright, so own network group, that's obviously relevant to Andrea, but this is back of your mind, further down, maybe in 6 months' time, you've gone out and about, you've networked, you've built up a group of people that really sort of you connect with. They're going to be first people who are going to come to your event. Alright.
So you're talking about that like a meetup group?
It can be a meetup group, it can be you invented. I invented Ultimate Business Support and then I had a networking group that I didn't go under anyone's banner, I just did it. So really you can do it whatever you like. Now, post your event on Eventbrite as well. And realistically, this is probably the number one thing you want to do. I don't know, Andrew, do you use have you guys used any ticket purchasing platforms? So Eventbrite would be okay to
I've been
use?
using personally, but I've used them to pay for tickets,
tickets.
but I've never used
Eventbrite's
Right.
good because you don't have to, it doesn't cost you a cent.
Doesn't
So you
cost
can
you a
just
cent.
charge the person that's coming to the event the admin fees.
Or you can absorb it.
Okay.
So if the event is $45, you can absorb the 2% admin fee, or you can pass it on to the person.
Yeah.
Mhm. You get to choose. So really, Eventbrite is step number one because it gives you another place where your event is posted, but it gives you the link. So remember logistics, date, venue, time, and where the hell did I send people to book their ticket?
Yeah.
Because you need to be always one click away. Your people need to be only one click away from coming to your event. Otherwise, if you say, oh, email me, I'll send you more details.
Yeah, too hard.
And have that Eventbrite link bookmarked on your phone or on your iPad that you'll have with you all the time. Because guess what? When you're out and about networking, so let's put here networking. This is when you're networking out, a couple of events a week. When you're out and about networking and you stand up and say, I've got an event coming up on the 8th of March, it's called blah, blah, blah. You give them two really strong outcomes. Special ticket for today for 3 people who want to come along is blah. Come up and see me after. I'll book you in immediately. They come up to you, you go, here's my bookmark on my phone and my iPad. You do it all for them. Don't go, I'll send you the Eventbrite link, right? They're not going to do it. Not because they don't want to come, people just want, they're lazy, we're lazy, we just want
So in Eventbrite, you can make special prices and special discounts.
yeah, you can have 2, 3 levels of tickets and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're all different links.
And
No, it's the same link. They just tick one of the
The same
boxes
link,
within.
yeah.
Like a click
But
down.
say what I spoke about earlier, if
Right.
you want to make a VIP for a promotion,
So they can
the
decide
standard
what.
price,
Yeah.
Yes.
you just tell them, look, tick the standard price. Oh no, yeah, tick the standard thing, and you'll give them the inclusions that are included in the VIP
Right,
price.
Okay, all right.
Just because you're tracking it, Eventbrite couldn't give two
Yeah, yeah,
clackers what it is.
yeah. Okay. So number one activity, once you've locked in your date and venue and decided what your ticket price, and obviously copy's going to come later on, we're going to write the copy through that. You're going to then cut and paste the copy in Eventbrite, set up the tickets. Again, an image within Eventbrite will be required. You can download that off Google or whatever it is, your logo if you have one. Number 2, you'll then set it up into Facebook and put the Eventbrite link in the description. In the first part of the description at the top, or before people click more, and then at the bottom again. And you will paste your copy in the middle of the description. So link, description, link. Show you. For the book launch, for example. I'll go to my events. Again, this was posted under my own personal profile. I made hosts all of the authors that are launching. It's on the 12th of Feb. Alright. And I got all of the authors and Stuart to invite their networks. This is why we got up to 1,400 invites. Otherwise, I can only invite 200-300 people myself. Now, we've got heaps of people like, looks really good, having a go, interested. We have sold actually over 30 tickets, so we're more than halfway to where we need to be. So see here, I actually put it in, I put it in twice. Sometimes if it's really long copy, you can put it in 3 times, the link in here. But see, even before you click open, how do I, what did this come open when I came to this page?
Yeah, it was already open.
Oh, was it? Okay. But it used to be that you can only see this much.
Yeah.
So you want people to see this thing. Tickets here, like go here, do this, because it doesn't matter what the hell they click here, because it doesn't mean anything until they've bought a ticket.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Sure.
This is why your mafia is going to make this look really good, so that other people are enticed. And what I would suggest you do, so I haven't followed up with everyone to see if they've bought a
Your
ticket.
VA will be doing that.
Okay, my VA, that's right, my VA, that's another task for her, right? Let me I might leave it up, because we don't need the PowerPoint, really.
Turn it off, it'll keep beeping.
How do I turn? I might put it on mute, so it doesn't beep. Okay, so what we'll do, guys, with about 2 weeks to go, I'm going to check who's bought a ticket, who hasn't, from going in interest. I'm going to create a templated message. And I go, hey Jane, I noticed you clicked going to such and such event. You might put even the link to, you'll grab the link from the top of here, copy the link from there. I haven't got you on my ticket list that you've purchased the ticket. If you're still interested, go along to this link, because this link is different to that one, right? And get your ticket. It's going to be an amazing night, all of that template. Because then your VA, if you have one, you'll cut and paste, and inbox all of these 44 people. What the hell's going on?
It's not going to mute.
Oh, why does it still do it?
Just kill it. Or do you need it?
Because I wanted to show you
Uh-huh.
stuff. Yeah. So how would I do that? I would open. So sometimes you can't just inbox. So in order to figure out, so you'll have your list. Then you'll have. You can message them right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, there you go. I thought you had to be on another thing. So you can just send that message, cut. But make sure you're not messaging ones that have bought tickets. All right. And And then you're going to create a second template. It's going to say the same thing, really, but they're just going to say, oh, you clicked interested. You know, I wonder if you've worked out a way to be there. We'd like to have you there. We're expecting this many people. Like, really build the value back up to why they should be in the room.
Yeah.
Make sense? All right. What else do I need to say about the basics? So then, and just to show you what we've been doing, so I've organised a roster with all the authors that are taking part, and I post one day, so Anita posts another day, Anna posts another day, so when you have multiple people, don't put the burden just on yourself, and it looks much better when different people are posting in the event. See this person, random person, congrats to you all, we like it. Elsa, so what I've encouraged them to do as well is not only to post, but all of us, the other mafia, to comment on their post. So with Elsa, she put this up, and go, oh, I've tried that and nearly died, right? And so then someone else, anyone can tell me. So people are interacting on this already. I've posted this about my authors, hey, about 8 people, because usually in events you don't get many likes. You don't get any interaction, but see, my authors, Christine's taking part in Glenda, they're all there, you know, talking and commenting. So if you can, so not only are you going to be the mafia to each other, but if you see Andrea posting her event and give her tip around it, why not, if you've seen it and you're there, it takes 3 seconds to comment. Oh, I can't wait until this night. Doesn't matter if you're not calm, you know? And then other people are going, oh my God, what's happening? FOMO, fear of missing out, right? So if we can do that as an additional task, how much better also would that, so obviously that's why this page has gone. And all of my different authors are posting and you know, giving lots of value before the event, right? I'll switch it off, but if we need it, we'll come back to it. Alright, let's complete more of these. I think these promotional strategies are really important. I hope you guys, this is, if anything you pick up today, this is the action part, right? This is the action part to actually make this a reality. To get these bundles in. Alright, okay. Email marketing is another one. Now, this will vary for everyone. Who's got a database?
It's not very full, but yeah.
Small one, yeah.
Yeah, not huge. But my database is from before my DV work, so it's not people.
Who would it be? Who would be in the database? Like what sort of people?
To do with my psychotherapy.
Okay. I'm just trying to think whether you need to start building a second one,
Yeah.
like tag that's something different. I want you to get into the habit of promoting an event in a sequence of emails that you'll send out to people. Doesn't matter how big or small it is. Even if you can think of 5 or 6 people you can reach out to and let know what you're doing that may be relevant to this, start with those. Start with a spreadsheet. It doesn't even have to be MailChimp or SendPep or whatever. Mine was family and friends in my Yahoo account contact list, right?
Okay, so I started recently a new Facebook group just for my book. So
cool.
those, pardon?
Yeah.
The Wolf in the Suit, yeah.
Yes, so if you
send
can
it to
somehow be able to capture their emails and be able to start connecting with them, this will grow over a period of time. But with email marketing, we're looking in a 6-week period for a sequence of minimum 3 and potentially 6 emails.
Might be good just to bring up the templates I wrote out for our authors about promoting now, just to show them a quick look.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So because a lot of people, when you guys are going to be new at this and how to get a good sequence and what sort of things you want to be putting in first email, so it doesn't just seem as though you're flogging the same thing over and over. So for our authors that have the list, I wrote up for them a 3 email sequence that they can actually do. So here we go. So it was just a subject line. So this is obviously set up. They just then customise it. So you'll see it on the 4th paragraph down. For one of the biggest moments in my life happened. Then insert what month you decided to do it. So this first one was really a very personal one, so it's about wanting to get people connected. So if they know you, get an emotion out of them, you want them to be part of a special event, you'll love it, it's a great time in your life, very excited. Then you go to the next one, so email 2.
Excitement.
See, it was quite long, that first one, because we really needed to give them a lot of information. Second one becomes quite a bit shorter, so it's more about the event, less personal, scarcity, there are still tickets available. If you get any news, so we got confirmation.
Insert title, insert date.
So just, that's something, so you see the first one will be when you announce it, you want to go into a lot of detail, evoke an emotion. So that's even when you're starting to talk about selling programs and writing copy. If you can't get an emotional response out of everyone, now that emotion doesn't need to be joy, so it can be anything, it can be sadness, stress, anything that you can get out of someone. No one's going to do anything without any feeling of an emotion. So you've got to get that emotion from them. And then the third one, same thing, you get the FOMO. Don't miss out. You know, they might have not booked, but all of a sudden now they're getting told you don't want to miss out. Humans don't want to miss out. Their brain is, well, I want to be part of what everyone else is doing.
Subject line are your most crucial thing to your emails being read.
Especially most people read them on the phone, all you see is the subject line. Like if I go through this,
Sometimes not the full subject line.
No, the first 4 words.
yeah, and then dot, anything like that afterwards. So yeah, you want to make sure you spend a bit of time on that. You can, there's a couple of great resources out there, like the most open, you can just Google the most opened subject lines, things like that.
Yeah.
Where you get a disconnect from is if you write disconnection notice, right? You put that in a subject line and your email has absolutely nothing to do with it and you can't tie it back in.
You're going to tie
That's
it
phishing, that phishing, and you can get reported and you'll just start people think you're an absolute wank bag if you start doing stuff like that.
No.
But if you do disconnection notice and then you can make it
In the
humorous
first
sentence,
you
can relate it back to that. So, it might be back to you. Just got a phone call from the event. Say this was an event that I was doing. Just got off the phone from the event manager at da-da-da, where I'm booking it, with a disconnection notice of my event because there was some communication error, right? So you've made it relatable, told them what it is, and then you go into, hey, if you haven't registered for the event, da-da-da-da-da. So you just got to be a little bit clever if you're going to use something very much like that, but you always want the subject line to tie in with. So one I did, the most read email we ever had was when we did have to actually postpone one event. So when that got stuck, when someone had a heart attack or something on a plane, when she was meant to be flying from Perth to Adelaide, and so it was emergency at 24,000 feet. That's what I put in the subject line. So no one would have, about authoring, no one would ever expect to read something like that.
Everyone knows that email. Like if I see my community and network and we mention that, I know that email. So even though they may not have responded, see, you never responded, for example.
But you remember it still.
But you remember it, and many people did respond. So imagine, I would quadruple that to the amount of people that would have read it and thought it was cool.
That's hilarious. I was up at 1 o'clock in the morning trying to text people and get a hold of people.
Yeah.
Because Nat was so stressed about cancelling or postponing an event.
This was like a mid-flight emergency. It was, literally, and I was stuck, and then I was trying to get to Melbourne because I was only stopping over to Adelaide for the day, and then I go, do I fly to Sydney because I'm going to be in Sydney next week? Do I just bypass Melbourne? I was like, you should have seen the problem solving we went through the following 2 hours. It was crazy. Alright, so email marketing, 3 to 6 emails. Start, you know how you get good at copy and at writing? You do it, yeah? You do it, and that's all. Storytelling is so important. And Stuart will touch on that in his, upstairs when we are writing some copy. But storytelling is key to building the emotion for a person and not sounding pitchy. And the type of copy that we're going to create for, say, the promotion of the event, that's more pitchy, right? It's like elicits pain, pleasure, what outcomes, but sometimes people want the logistics. But when you're actually building it up in terms of an email or a Facebook post, you may want to just tell a story. Like I did a LinkedIn post with the Australia Day thing. I actually wrote 3 paragraphs of when I came to Australia and how this has been an awesome country, told my story, didn't speak a word of English, and then I said my tour is starting. So I actually did story, 3 paragraphs, and then that whole blurb of all the dates and the booking for the event. Didn't want a LinkedIn post that was just going to be a pitch. Yeah. Okay. So email. Networking. So this is where, yeah, you guys know this is actually very powerful. This I think will work the most for you in the early days when you're talking about your event. And so you'll practice two things when you go networking. You'll gauge the room. Do I want to invite this room to my event, or do I want to sell my low-cost offer, which might be just that next conversation of what you want them to do?
The quick thing on that, if you can go to an event and get invited by a friend, a colleague, someone like that, they already know the networking group. It's a great thing to have them then be able to support you, and they can even say after you pitch your offer, they can say to the group, look, I've known Andrea for so long. She runs this is a really, really high valuable workshop. I recommend
Francesca
that
does
if you
that
can,
really well.
get in there. So
Yeah.
it's a great warm introduction to have somebody automatically vouch
For you.
So
Just
ask
like
around,
I
ask
had
who else is
also
networking.
here in the room yesterday or last night, and they've been through the experience. They're like the veteran. Like, say if you were in the room, it's so much more like I've been through this, you know, and everyone sort of looks up to you. And so do people to the organizer. Like, I do that for Francesca and she does it for me. Guys, really go along to this. I mean, I can't recommend it highly enough. Speaking. So we are looking for speaking gigs all of the time. And we're putting our feelers out there, but certainly it is at a speaking gig that I hope that you pick up a few people that will want to join you at that event, and that you offer that reduced ticket or use one of your specials at the end of that pitch. Yeah. I'm just picking. There's a whole list of things here, but I'm picking 10 that I would think would work best for you.
And just to keep in the mind as well, if you do happen to know that you've got a speaking event coming up, you book something in, if you can organise a workshop
Yes.
to correspond
Yes.
2 weeks after that, set
That
a
works
date,
really well.
it's brilliant. Don't
That's
make it 2 months behind, don't make it 3 days. Ideally, 7 days to 2 weeks afterwards.
Only exception is when I travel
Yeah, of
interstate,
course.
I'm doing that's why I'm going to Sydney for 3 days and not just the one for the workshop. I've got a business in Hill speaking gig on the Wednesday night, and then on the Friday is my workshop. I wanted to put a day in between them, so that people can
That's when you
rearrange
travel
their calendars.
interstate in. If it's your own state, it's
Your
easier.
own state, oh, absolutely. Like, you know, and really all my speaking gigs, I kind of go, okay, I'm going to sell this to this one to fill that one. I'm going to sell this to this one to fill that one. And I just coordinate. So Con's meetup, I want to fill more people into the 22nd and 23rd of March. That's my only intention. Not in my half-day author, not in anything else, but in the 2 days.
And bonus tip, if you know you're speaking on a Tuesday night, set the workshop on the next Tuesday night as well, because you know that's when people are normally
Those
free.
people are free.
So just think about things like that, rather than maybe the next Wednesday night they've all got stuff on. So you normally, if possible, try to do it on the same night in a week or 2 weeks' time. If you know you're going to, once you get confident in this and you know you're going to pick up quite a few from your speaking gigs, which you will.
I put in LinkedIn because all of you would all of you have a LinkedIn profile? No?
I've done nothing with it.
But you'll do
Yeah.
something with it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's worthwhile just trialing one inbox. You've never done it before. Send it out to them, and connect with them through a story, and then invite them to that event with your Eventbrite link at the bottom.
That'd be great.
So I'll call them collaborative partners. So
Andrea, have you got my link tonight?
James.
I think I did it ages
Maybe
ago.
not
Send
look back into it again. I'll send it to Olivia.
I've got a profile.
Yep.
Pretty ordinary.
Right. And all of you should now also have a background picture to your LinkedIn profile,
Yeah, I do.
because and Nick can design those, just so you know what it looks like. It looks like,
And do we get a copy of that email sequencing?
yeah.
Yeah, I can give you a copy.
I'll
You
just
use
pop it on
first,
the
yep.
thing because I'll just
Yep.
create the Dropbox. And so the background picture, it's like the cover photo on Facebook, but it looks like this.
Yeah.
Like I've put all the books there. Get rid of this and then get rid of this. Maybe you can't. But you can see. Skip. Oh.
Yeah, that's annoying.
No, go away. Alright, so I did put my personal branding here, and then all of my authors, and there's more, so that you can see behind. Oh, it's a fly. I thought it was a spider. Yeah, so make sure you create one, and a graphic designer has to do this for you to be right, fully, you know, centered and all that sort of stuff.
I just realised I've got to feed Judd before we send him off too, because he's not nice to send him without being.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll keep brainstorming our promotional strategies. Collaborative partners. So, James, you mentioned someone who was potentially wanting you. Right. So that's one person. But who are the people that have your ideal client but are not in competition with you, that you can say, "Hey, I've got this happening"? How do you? It's really important that here we have a win-win. Yeah. What did they get out of promoting you?
They're mostly BNI members in the chapter, so they win by referring people to my thing, because then they can put a ticket in.
Because they get what?
Because they can put it, in the BNI, they can put
Yes.
a ticket in, which gives them points, which ups their profile in BNI, because
Oh, okay.
BNI is good as going.
Yes.
So it's all points based
Yes.
for
All right.
So they get referral, which means
There you go. So just thinking about what?
Would I know a couple of people in Melbourne that do domestic violence charity fundraising things, have non-profit things.
So
would they, or is
The
it
one thing I want to
competition
understand. One thing I want to understand: who do we want to attract into your event? Is it the psychotherapists that work with people? So we're going to figure out what the event's going to be in after lunch. We're kind of going reverse engineering it, because really the content is the last thing. The very last thing. Really, next month we'll talk about content and presentation. Now it's all about promotion. We don't have to have created anything but the sexy copy. But that's the thing we've got to figure out, is who is going to be that person in the room that is going to want to do further work with you. So really, when you think about who are my collaborative partners, what am I going to sell to the people that I want to sell to, and who are they attached to? Yeah. So this one would develop. These relationships with collaborative partners may not come into effect in the early days. These are the relationships you should be working on in the background, because you perhaps have met them out networking, you've connected with them on social media, and you're just building rapport and trust, and hey, you hit it off together and you want to help each other, right? So it's important that they are actually strong, because no one's going to collaborate or do a JV just because, hey, we've got the same target market. You've got to like each other. You seriously got to like each other to do things for each other. But once you find some golden ones like Francesca is, you nurture that further, you help each other. There's no this you win, I lose, or I got you more and you got me less, or whatever. It's just, it is what it is, and we do the best we can for each other. And you'll sense if someone's not pulling their weight. Okay? So please, always be the person who does more, because your hard work and efforts will be rewarded. I've done many events in the past where I've co-presented with people, and I've been the one filling 80%, if not 100% of the room. And you know what? As an outcome, just always when I've done all the hard work and I have, and done the best thing to make sure everything's even, I've still been rewarded in other ways. You know how they say, you give. In a way, you're giving to your partner because you're making this event a success. You're always going to get more. It's what you put in is what you get out, right? It's kind of the universe playing what's fair. Who do I, so just never worry that you're being taken advantage of, but certainly speak up.
So you only get out what you put in. If you've only put in 10%, you'll only get out 10%.
And I reckon that's what you'll get in clients and revenue. So never worry about that. I don't. And sometimes I go, I carry this whole relationship. I carry this whole thing. Certainly do the best to make sure you guys have goal alignment, that you are, that everyone knows what their tasks are. But if at the end of the day the other person doesn't pull their weight and you do, so what? So what? Maybe you won't do it again with them, but you'll also be rewarded for the amount of work you've put in. Always. I've never met a person who's worked as hard as filling rooms as Francesca. Like I said, I've collaborated with so many people, and I'm always the one that's doing it all, and hustling and doing all this sort of stuff. And I said, it's so nice and refreshing and makes me relax a bit that I know you're going to do the things that it requires to be done to get these people in the rooms. Because the benefit, I mean, how much it is. See, with events, the hard work is the front end. Once you convert and do you have the trust, you have this person signed into your hiring program and all that sort of stuff. That's where you're just doing what you love best. That's your reward for doing all of this front end work to do what you love best, which is transform their life in your expertise. It's like when I get to the retreats, I do what I love best, and I get to see the biggest transformations ever. And then they hold their books, and then when we go book launch, it's like even the biggest climax, because it's now everything is completed. But the majority of the work, 80%, if not 90%, is where we are sitting right now. All of these little intricate details, strategies, follow-ups. You know, anyone's expressed interest, like keep following up with those people who say I'm interested. Just keep them on that list. Keep emailing them. You never know. Like every one person, like imagine you got one person from each of these strategies. You've got your 10 people. Yeah. So that's why 10 fills a room.
So
Because
I asked Natasha, with like having these 10 different ways to fill the room,
yes,
is it best to focus on a few rather than all, or is it that which way is best to go?
I do them all. I don't think they require. Mastering. Like Facebook as a bigger umbrella of multiple things you can do. Like because you can go and be part of groups, you know, and then build relationships there and promote on their promotional day.
Yep.
Certainly, if you go on a group just on their offer day and put up your ticket price, it ain't gonna work. You're not gonna, unless if I didn't have a relationship in my own Facebook group and put up that Australia Day thing and buy tickets. No, the people who bought tickets have them following. I know their names, you know, in my sleep. You know, who's Christine and James from Canberra, the first two, because they've always wanted to meet us and they want to come, so they've booked their ticket straight away because they've known us for 2 years. So pick the key 5 groups that you're going to be a part of and be on there regularly 5 out of 7 days. You have to be there 7 days out of 7, unless say it's your own group, which Andrea, you post daily on your group, don't you? Yeah. She started her own group as well. Which are all smart things to do. This is like having your own network group. So if we put here online and offline. And so as a Facebook strategy, you know, then it's your fan page, you have maybe, you know, what do you post on your personal profile as well. So there's, we are going to do a lot more, maybe one morning, one day, it's just going to be social media all through the months, where we go in a little bit more intricate details of social media, especially Facebook, right? However, if we look at the other ones, like Eventbrite will take you 10 minutes to set up, and then you're not doing that. People may come across the event and go, oh, I want to go to that, I'll click a ticket. Don't hold your breath when people finding your event and booking a ticket. It's happened 2 or 3 times, but it's good to have the exposure and you have the area to send people to buy the ticket, right? You've got your Facebook event, which you're inviting your people that you're most interacting with in your network, so that should work, get you a few numbers. You're going out and physically seeing everyone come, you know, that's again a very powerful. So this is with everything that you're doing as you're doing it each and every day. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Collaborative partners, own network group, online, offline, Eventbrite, email sequences. I'll give you a couple more. Well, I want to split the Facebook one with the groups, okay? Because I think the event you do a certain strategy with, but the groups, the interaction and the building of the trust and rapport is so important, because then when promotion day comes up or event day, because actually a good thing is, you can promote your event twice in most groups because they'll have an event day or a network day. An event's a great place to network, and then the next day or another day might be their promotional day. So there might be actually, because in UBS we've got network day and then offer day. So actually you could, but I wouldn't suggest to do it back to back. You might 1 week promote it on network day, the other week on offer day, and switch around what you do on the other day. Make sense? But if you're regular in those groups, then, and we see each other, you posting a thing, maybe right, yep, I'll take one of those tickets for each other if you see each other. Like, of course I don't want to overwhelm you with too many tasks for one another, but if you're there and you've seen it, don't just scroll past it. If it's come up on your news feed, it doesn't take long to click a like. At a minimum, click a like.
Yeah.
I click a like to all my clients, support your clients, yeah. So I think pick 5. Pick 5, but be very careful who you pick, because why hang out in a group of IT people if you're trying to sell to mums or I don't know, you know, that's just like 2 worlds apart. So pick those 5 where you know your ideal clients hang out. Yeah. And how do you find it? Just start typing into the Facebook thing and see what comes up in terms of groups. Or ask in another group, do you guys know any other groups that have, maybe you found one that's ideal, but does anyone in this group also know other groups where similar people to this hang out? People are always willing to help each other on a Facebook. I have a bookkeeping issue and I post it up and I go, well, the bookkeeper's in the room, what do I do here? I don't know where to click and can I do this and that? And ask my question, I've solved it. Often the benefit of being part of groups is actually also you find this collaborative partner. That's how I found Francesca. She's part of my group, she keeps watching me, then she's friended me, then I see all these pictures of her, finally accept a friend request by saying, thanks for connecting, how do we know each other? Oh, I'm part of your group, oh, I'm coming to Brisbane, oh, can I host an event for you, you're really cool. Like, you know, that we've been watching each other without being connected really fully in a group. And that's when the visibility is important, that you're turning up, so that then people go, okay, this name keeps popping up. You know, you walk into rooms and because you've been Facebook friends, you know, I remember people that first and last name. And for you, it's Anna F. Was it
Anna Francis.
But was it? How is
I
your
think I've
Facebook?
written Anna Francis, or is Anna
F.
Francis
Petra?
P?
It might be something like that.
I've done it
But
differently.
that's how I remember you. In my head, until I met you face to face, I had your name. The way it is, like I'm very
it is.
visual, so it's like imprinted of. You know, if you've got an initial, I got an F. Petrarca or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So so these are the people that are ultimately going to help you solve some business problems. If you are going to certainly be part of one business group, because I think that will increase your chances of being helped as with your techie issues, with any legal stuff, because a lot of other business experts hang out and talk about that stuff, and they can offer you free advice. Yeah? Okay. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. I'm just thinking, of course I'm not like if you were in a position to pay for Facebook ads, I would have had that up there, but I'm not putting it up there because it's not there yet. So I want to give you something. Just going back to my original.
You don't recommend printed flyers through letterboxes?
No, because you don't know who lives where they live.
Yeah.
A printed option of to give something to someone is good when you're out and about networking. So if you can create something, even just A5, I've done that before. And you could potentially even have an option, not a bad idea, have an option where you might have the ticket or 2 options of whatever it's going to be, and they can tick and then fill out their details and their credit card or however they want to pay, so you're not doing an electronic sign up. That's a way to do it. Or they walk away with a little slip of paper, so if they didn't book on your iPad then and there, they've taken the slip and maybe they will. So that's just another backup. Oh, I'm not sure yet. Oh, here's the flyer, here's the information. So rather than, hey, I'll send you an email, you can give the flyer and follow up with an email. This is all about your follow-up process. The more that you can do, the more you can put yourself in the face of other people, the better it is. So Yeah. I'll put that one under networking though. I'll put that, like, have like a little A5 flyer that you can print on your printer. Like, it's just as a little, carry around 10, 15 copies of it. So when you're meeting people, that would be a good idea. What else? Can you guys think of something else? I'm thinking it's free, no cost, promotional way.
You mentioned earlier about when you first started, you had family and friends come in and so on. So perhaps setting up something to family and friends and
That they may be able to know someone, or picking up the phone and maybe, I don't know, as we said with Anita, we're not sure where her network is, but even picking up the phone to, so Andrea, for example, you had some women come to your meetup event, connecting, say, hey, you know, really love seeing you, hope to see you there next time. Just wanted to let you know about a workshop I've got coming up in March. Is there someone in your network that you think may benefit? Can I send you a link? Maybe share it on social. Like ones that you feel, you know, might be open to it. Don't expect everyone to do it.
No.
Not everyone is, but
If
I'm
you,
just
if you
thinking.
send 20 emails and 3 follow through, I mean, it's a conversion rate nonetheless, isn't it?
Yeah. When you're starting out as well, remember you're not doing as many events as I do. It would become very annoying if I was starting to approach people to promote all of my events and all that sort of stuff. So that's why with the Facebook, it's like takes a lot of my 10 will be slightly different. Like I've already got the people from the last workshops. I already have, say, connections of people in the city, like Francesca will promote my Brisbane and Gold Coast events. I've got Samantha in Sydney, as well as this other girl, Julia. I've got Linda and Rory in Adelaide. I've got Theta in Perth. So I've already set up some relationships where I'm like going, what are we going to do? How are we going to sort of get this out there? And you know what I mean? Like it's kind of, can you see that the strategies change the more you grow and who you tap into? So I'm just like, I'm wanting to rewind back the clock to see, you know, these, and ultimately when you start out, these are the hardest ones, okay? Because afterwards it's not just like, just send a message or, you know, connect and, you know, just, it's sort of like the people you're working with are also very switched on and whereas say approaching some people that may have a network but are not that savvy, they might just not do it right because it's not their expertise, right? It becomes easier. You know what my mom's saying is, everything is hard before it becomes easy.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to remember. It's the most hustling you'll do is in these early days. As word gets out, as you start building those lists of prior attendees. On your feedback form, if you're going to have feedback forms at the end of a workshop, which in the early days I do suggest you have them, you can have on the bottom, you know, who are 3 people you'd like to gift a ticket of this workshop. That's something you can put down and then contact those people and say, hey, Anna, you gave me your name because you'd benefit from this workshop, copy of the workshop, the next one scheduled for this date. Don't send something just really ambiguous. You want to send them a hardcore, here's the date, here's the venue, this is what the workshop's about. She thought it would be of benefit. You know, she's offered a gift ticket to you. You know, can you make it? Or there's a half price ticket I've offered her because she was there last month. Yeah?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I suppose just being aware of your language or listening to other people's conversations. So like if you're with the lady at the checkout and you have a conversation with her and she mentions something, just to be aware of something you can actually say, well, I'm holding this workshop.
Oh, everywhere you go, guys, this was what I did in the first 2 years, 2.5, and I still do it this day because I love to tell people what I do. I think it's a good thing to let people know, especially when they don't know you. And nowadays I can say it so easily, and then they ask me for more information. But in the early days when I was a life coach or just PRS coaching my old brand and just weight loss stuff, lose the last 10 kilos, everywhere I'd go, anyone, the ATM teller or whoever I mean at the bank, or because I was still in my day job and I saw a lot of clients who actually came to the optical, the Specsavers, often I would figure out a way how to tell them what else I did, or my additional interests and all of that. So Stuart used to think I was crazy. It's like, oh my God, here she goes talking about herself and the business. But that just created more and more awareness. Didn't mean that those people ever eventuated, but I just got so used to always figuring out a way. Even tradies come to our house and we talk about, we run a business from home. And the minute you say you run a business from home, they go, what do you do?
Yeah.
Straight away, you know what I mean? Like, you figure out to tell them how to, And one of the tradies who did what did he do? The retaining walls. He just thought it was so fascinating because he spent quite a lot of time here with us. And he said, I need to get better at this social media. And she goes, hey mate, we'll have a beer once you finish the job and I can tell you a little bit more about what to do. Potentially could eventuate into a mentoring client for Stuart or something along those lines. But never miss the opportunity in these early days. Daily you should be telling people what you do, and then the next thing is the easiest thing to do for you is, I'm doing like an intimate workshop in 6 weeks time. Would you like to come along to that, or I can send you some information, or here's my flyer. All of those things, I'll figure out a way to have that call.
I went to get my eyebrows done and I hadn't seen her for a while, and she said, what have you been up to? And I said, I've written 2 books. And if I'd said, I'm doing the DV stuff, I don't think I would have really got anything. But then, what about the books? Then she shares all her DV experience. I go change my telecommunications, tell him I've written books, discover he's also been in an abusive same-gender relationship.
So in your niche, you are very going to be have to be clever in how you tell people what you reveal, and how you position it. So that can be, part of your story, and then they go, okay, so this is what she's done, this is who she's helped. But again, we'll figure out who is it that we want to attract, so that we know what to sell them and how to position it. Yeah. Is that cool? You guys getting hungry?
Yeah.
We've got 8 minutes, quarter to 1. We'll finish up and go to lunch. Hope Robin's still with us. Okay. Alright. So let's brainstorm a couple of more ways. Like, I've given you quite a lot. That was good with the flyer.
Competitions.
It's a good idea. Competition is good. I'm just thinking that could be a way. How would it attract? It could be a door prize at a speaking event. Ticket, like I did a door prize at the that UBS night. I think you were there, and when I sold the $197, I sold a discounted ticket to my Brand Accelerator Masterclass instead of $247 for $197. A few people booked in for that, and then one person won a ticket. Yeah. Now again, that's still not a guarantee that that person is going to turn up, but sometimes people do feel good about winning a competition, and they feel special, so they do actually value it. Does that make sense? They've got pulled out of a hat. So, and she said she's very excited about coming, so we'll see how that eventuates. So that's a good one. What else?
Media releases.
We haven't yet talked about publicity. I don't know if it's the right time yet, but you can seek out the area where you're doing your event. You can put in a press release into that local paper, and then tell them about what, write maybe an article or supply something that's going to add value to the audience, and then say, blogs.
Yes, but I say venue promotion, because in where I live down in Hudson's Bay,
the venue actually doing it.
Yeah.
Venue promotion, yes.
So the councils near where I work, they do free venues for local businesses to do workshops and seminars, and they promote it.
Great. Ask the venue. Do you promote the events that are? Good idea. And actually what I just tapped into blogs. Great. Why? The best way to be non-pitch in a Facebook group is actually share an article of great value. So when you share the link to that article, you're not actually saying, hey guys, I thought you might find this useful. and the article gives them the value. If it keeps them engaged in reading, that's the story that's building up into the call to action, that is the workshop. Actually, that is a strategy, that's an awesome one, reminded me, is that Charlie and my Facebook guys do. They will spend money on Facebook ads to drive people to the blog. Stuart writes the blog. He drives people to the blog to build the interest. So those people get pinned. Like you've heard of remarketing, where one person visits your thing and then you advertise, the computer finds their address. When you're doing the proper Facebook ad, they get to see it. You know, it's electronic ways that it knows where you've been and it just keeps following you. Yeah. I don't know, do you remember, I know you came from a Facebook ad. Did you see an ad also with a blog at all, James? No. But that's what happened for Sydney. For nearly 10 days, they were running ads to the blog. And the thing is, if you don't have money to run ads, you just share your blog in groups and forums. Is that right? And then you know, at the bottom of that blog, you've got your Eventbrite link. And if those people have gotten value from the blog, I want to come and see you. You know, that's a great way, a free way. And you're building your blog thing, which is...
If you got your newsletter going out anyway, you can add it through that.
Oh yeah, well that's kind of the email marketing where newsletters would go into. But blogs are really great to, you know, when you don't have as much cash flow in your business, I say you're time rich, cash poor. Later on, you're cash rich, time poor, so you got to outsource and figure out smarter ways. Yes, you have more expenses, but your bottom line's bigger and you want to have a life. So, you know, something's got to give. You know what I mean? You can still keep doing everything yourself and make bigger profits, but you'll end up six feet under because you'll be burnt out.
There's one business guy who I follow. I get his emails through. So he'll do 3 or 4 emails of value. So he always gives value in there. There's no sell or anything.
Yeah.
And then he'll send out an email, and in the title is Sally Sell. And there's a little bit at the top saying, look, straight up front, this is a little bit of Sally Sell, and I put it there so that if you don't want to be sold anything, you can just delete this and we'll carry on.
But because you enjoy getting those first 3 or 4 emails,
yeah.
You know, you'll have to check it out. What is it?
Yeah, I read this Sally Sell. I never purchased, but
that's okay. It doesn't mean you want it in 12 months' time, depending on where you're at and what you're. You know, it's just.
And some of them are for events over. Most of them are for events over in the
States.
There you go. So,
well, that's why, because you're not there.
yeah, I'm not there.
Exactly, but I bet you if he was sort of a couple of suburbs away and you've kind of been keeping in touch, and maybe he comes to Australia in 2 years' time, and you're still on his database, you'll go, oh my God, you know, he's been so consistent, I'll go and see him.
But also, it's where he is in business, helping businesses, I'm not there.
Exactly. So what also that means is the person is not ready to hear, you're not ready to hear his message. Because you're not right there. And we always say the right person turn up at the right time and they're ready for your message, and you're never going to get the wrong client that you're not ready for and they're not ready for you.
But I'll keep him there because I know that I will be.
There you go.
So.
And that's the thing, and that he's smart in doing that because he'll be around, and there's people always say, well, how do you do this? I said, well, I've been consistent for 6 years. For 6 years I've been consistent, I've been in front of people's faces, and those that are not ready for me, like Andrea and I could have worked together 3 years ago, but we didn't. You know, you came to one of the first book launches, second book launch.
Yeah, and I unpacked a book with you.
Oh, we did, yes. So she even came for a book unpack, but that was like 2 years ago. And it just wasn't the right time. Just ignore that, I think. Yeah. So, and that's okay, and now is the right time, and I have one big insight, mindset-y thing. Never be, how can I say it? Be committed, not attached, okay? Be committed to getting a yes or no outcome, but not attached to what that outcome is, yeah? If you're not attached, you don't want to work with them, that's okay. Like, you know, wishing you all the send them love, let them go on their own journey. You know, if they're ready in 6, 12 months, 4 years, whatever it is, you're taking the right actions, you're doing what you know works, and hard work never went unrewarded. I'm sorry, but if you've done hard work, you might feel like that for a long time because you're you're building foundations, you're building assets, you're building everything.
Putting systems in. Yeah.
But when you know, true in your heart, when you put your head on the pillow at night and you say, I'm happy tired because I did a hard day's of work. Like after today, when it's tonight, I've done 2 full home day events and seen so many people and served so many people and spoken to and you know, and even if I convert no one from the workshops yesterday, have I done the best I can? Yes, I have. And if my hard work was not rewarded then instantly or from those events, which we actually didn't convert anyone from last week's event after, like I did a half day author, that's not to say we followed up with everyone. And 4 people would do it, it's just not going to be in the next 2 months. But I'll go, it's fine, you know? We're here and we're going to be part of that network anyway. So these guys are just going to need more touch points and to get prepped for this. So it was okay though. I cannot be attached to an outcome that I didn't sell anything in a workshop. It's not good vibes, right? If you walk away with no conversion, 0 sales, you pick yourself up and you do it again. Because then you're going to get that workshop, like in Sydney and Hobart last year, where I have 12 people in the room, I sign up 5 authors. 5 authors is huge for a 12-person room, and then in Hobart, 3 out of 13. So then you get that influx of, what the hell? Like out of this many people, and you know, the revenue, look at it. So it just all evens out. Yeah.
I've thought of 2 other things for
Yeah.
the room, like going to just your local paper, and you know how they have the free what's on thing.
Oh yeah.
You put a little thing, it won't take long to just email that.
Well,
And
yeah,
your local community radio station, they're always looking for community things to be interviewed.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of actually advertising down gyms for some of the coaching work I do. So I could actually go down there because there's an inbuilt community already at gyms and such like, because such like you go there and say, well, I'm doing this, I think this workshop will help your people.
Yeah.
And advertise it in the local gym.
Yeah.
So yeah,
If you've got the time and all of this is within the realm of what you can do in action, you know, every day, you know, nurturing that, definitely your social, nurturing that daily, it's so important that you do it. Okay? Perfect. All right, guys.